Hello and welcome. These are the stories trending. Thanks for joining us on the news. We're live in Abuja, also streaming live on Vision TV 247 and other social media platforms on your screen. I am Comfort Amodu. The headlines. Senate passes 2024 appropriation bill of 28.7 trillion naira, 1.2 trillion naira more than the figure submitted by President Tinubu. The federal government reiterates determination to address infrastructural deficit for country's socio-economic growth. And Liberia commends Nigeria for technical support in sustaining Liberia's democratic journey. Good to have you join us. Senators passed the 2024 appropriation bill of 28.7 trillion naira, and the figure shows 1.2 trillion naira more than the figure submitted by the President to the National Assembly on 29 November 2023. At an extraordinary sitting Saturday, the Senate also adjusted exchange rate benchmark from 750 to 800 naira to a dollar.
On the whole, I want to thank my esteemed colleagues. I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you for the swift passage of the 2024 appropriation bill. When Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, presented this bill to the joint session of the National Assembly on the 30th day of November 2023, we made a solemn promise to the Nigerian people that we would tirelessly work towards its passage before the year's end. Today, I'm proud to say that we have fulfilled that promise that we made to the Nigerian people.
And in Ondo State, workers' salary, pension and gratuity receives prime attention as the governor of the state, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, signs the 2024 appropriation bill into law. Kayode Olorundare has details of these and other activities of the governor on assumption of office.
This is the first official assignment of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, signing of the 2024 budget into law as passed by the State House of Assembly. Creating budget of growth and development by focusing on human development, environmental sustainability and rural development, while completing ongoing projects initiated by the late former Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. The size of the budget stands at 395,257 million naira.
I understand the temporary pains occasioned by the recent petrol subsidy removal. This administration will continue to put measures in place to cushion the effects until we are able to weather through the storm, hopefully very shortly. Furthermore, we will keep meeting salary, pension, and gratuity obligations to our serving and retired officers as applicable.
Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude to members of the Ondo State House of Assembly for the swift passage of the bill and emphasized the need for transparency in implementing the budget. The Speaker, Ondo State House of Assembly, Honorable Olamide Oladiji, led members of the House of Assembly to the event, while the Secretary to the State Government and other cabinet members were all in attendance. The governor had, on assumption of office, appointed 5 aides, which include the Chief Press Secretary, Special Assistant on New Media, Special Assistant on Political Matters, and 2 other Special Assistants. Meanwhile, following the demise of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, 5 of his aides resigned their appointment. They include the Commissioner for Infrastructure, Land and Housing, Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties and Strategy, as well as the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Akeredolu, Others are the special advisor on union matters and special duties, as well as special assistants on photography. In Akure, Kayode Olorundare, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated its determination to address infrastructural deficit for the socio-economic growth of the country. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this during the inauguration of Masaka Luvu Road in Karu, Nasser State. Blessing Damfulani reports on this.
Inaugurating the Masaka Luvu Road, Vice President Kashim Shettima acknowledges the efforts of Nasarawa State government in keying into the renewed hope enterprise of the federal government, among which is infrastructural development.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has instructed me to convey to the good people of Nasarawa State that his government is poised to address the infrastructural deficits.
Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule says provision of social amenities to his people is in fulfillment of his administration's resolve to better their lives.
With the adequate knowledge that he has, this one should be able to be there for at least 15 years before we even talk about any maintenance.
Stakeholders in the state appreciate federal government for people-oriented projects.
It's a very superlative move for bringing out farm products for commercial and public consumption easily, so as to enable the transporters to convey to the local markets and also international market for international exportation.
We hope and pray that the provision in the laws establishing the Federal Capital Territory that gave responsibility for it for developing infrastructure in the general area of the neighboring states.
A commission should and must be established, which is to be FCT Catchment Area Development Commission, which will now seek to create a common coffer that will see from source to the contiguous states.
A synergy between the governor and our father, the vice president, who loves infrastructure and is sitting there an engineer, will do the needful to bring about the much desired development we need in Nasarawa State.
The value of this road, the worth of this road cannot be overemphasized. And I believe it is going to serve the community, improve the economy of the community, as well as social activities of the environment.
Government has played its part. What remains is for the users to maintain it for longevity. From Masaka Karu local government area of Nasarawa State, Blessing Damfulani, NTA News.
Nigeria has played a pivotal role in fostering peace, regional integration and deepening democracy on the continent. However, the year 2023 saw the Ministry of Foreign Affairs redefining its policies to mark a distinct path for Nigerians' diplomatic relations to thrive under President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Garba Natala highlights these engagements in this report.
Over the years, contending issues continue to resurface as a result of making the world a global village. Globalization brought lots of benefits and opportunities. Its impacts further took turns in expanding global trade, foreign investments, addressing insecurity, and improving the socio-economic development of many African countries too, all under the umbrella of the United Nations, where countries project their potentials, their shortcomings, and gain transformative solutions and global support.
We are not asking for identical programs and actions. What we seek is an equal, firm commitment to partnership.
Despite all threats and concerns at the global stage, such as reviving from the shocks of COVID-19 pandemic, migration, economic recessions, poverty, food security and threats posed by the Russia-Ukraine crisis and the recent Israel-Hamas crisis, among others. The Nigerian government, alongside African countries, implement their foreign policies in a quest for better Africa. The outcome now for Nigeria is more synergy between the presidency and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and coordinating arms to address Nigeria's development agenda and position the country in its rightful place. The synergy became more pronounced after the Economic Community of West Africa, ECOWAS, declared Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as chairman of the regional body. in Guinea-Bissau at the 63rd ECOWAS Authority of the Heads of State and Government.
We will not allow coup after coup West African separation. We should make a pledge here that in furtherance of our region's economic recovery and growth, we will commit to democracy and promote democracy and rule of law. I am with you.
Since then, Nigeria continued to assert ECOWAS' position on constitutional change of governments that resurfaced in Africa. Again, the meetings on diplomatic and bilateral cooperations and partnerships that stemmed from such engagements since his assumption to office as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Maitamatuga, committed to several agreements, all in an effort in ensuring the sustenance of Nigeria's economic and developmental reforms.
There are lots of outstanding bilateral agreements and MOUs that we want to, the two countries are certainly going to be closer under this administration.
The outings to Saudi Arabia, Dubai, India, Russia, China, the United States, Germany, France, Egypt, Algeria, and other African nations have put a spotlight on Nigeria.
We have recently unveiled the new strategic blueprint, accelerating our collective prosperity through digital technical efficiency, as part of the federal government's initiative to accelerate the diversification of the Nigerian economy by enhancing productivity in critical sectors through technological innovation.
The outcome aided plans on Nigeria's energy transition, enhancing security against terrorism, humanitarian crisis caused by climate change, improved education and healthcare, business startups for youths, among others. In the end, a great stride is the unveiling of the 4D diplomacy plan, setting the right direction for the country's foreign policy as a sovereign state.
I will be seizing the opportunity of your presence to officially launch the exhibition that will signpost Tinubu's 4Ds foreign policy doctrine. Our new foreign policy doctrine provides a dynamic and unique concept which is anchored on democracy, development, demography, and diaspora. While the exhibition presents a unique ambience, crystallizing the cultural heritage, values, and aspirations of the people of Nigeria.
Any foreign policy that we promote, that we conduct, that we manage, must reflect the diversity and the presence of Nigerians in the different corners of the world.
Your democracy is an internal thing, isn't it? Your development is an internal thing. Your demography is an internal thing. Even your diaspora are your people who have moved outside.
I believe also that security issues should be highlighted, and there should be a room in the 4D strategy that you have security concern, because it's only when you have a secured environment that the 4D can be operated upon.
It has taken long for me to see a foreign minister addressing an audience on Nigeria's or direction of Nigeria's foreign policy. The last administration, I didn't know the direction of Nigeria's foreign policy, but today we have been told.
From a series of activities initiated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the year 2024 projects a positive outlook to resolve other salient issues such as unresolved consular issues on legal and irregular migration, implementations, reviewing policies and processes, funding of Nigeria's embassies and missions worldwide, and many more. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
Garba Natala reporting there on economic policies that shaped Nigerian economic future in the year 2023. We have more reports after this news. Stay tuned. As the year 2023 gradually glides to a close, Nigerians resident in Bayelsa State are taking stock of the major events that shaped the year, just as they expressed their expectations from their leaders at various levels. Ibinimi Zitimiola reports.
The year 2023 is an eventful year for Nigerians. The first major defining incident was the CBN Naira redesign and withdrawal policy that took off December 2022 and peaked in the first quarter of 2023. Next was the holding of the keenly contested presidential election, which saw the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president. The announcement of the removal of fuel subsidy in May 29 by President Bola Tinubu was a pronouncement that came with automatic increase in fuel pump price, cost of transportation, food items, and goods and services. All these developments came with it economic hardship on the masses. At the state level, the major event was the off-cycle governorship election, which ended in the return of Governor Doyedere. Reflecting on these activities and more, some Nigerians resident in Bayelsa State say they are looking forward to a 2024 filled with governmental programs and policies that are not only people-oriented, but aimed at improving the safety, well-being, and quality of life of the citizenry.
People cannot afford rice, clothing, and other things. So we are looking forward to 2024 to see those things to be normalized.
The need for the provision of public utilities like steady power and water supply, massive road infrastructure with special reference to the completion of the East-West Road, job creation and improved healthcare system, among others, was also underscored.
Improvements in the areas of security and job creation, particularly for the youths.
From federal to state, we would say that there is a huge dearth of infrastructure across the country. A situation where citizens would have to go through the hassle of traveling from one end of the country to the other, spending wasteful hours that should have been put to meaningful use.
Talking of electricity is something else. So we are just begging. They should just help us.
The promotion of the rule of law, the independence of all the free arms of government, and the improvement of the electoral process, they believe, will reduce the number of litigations at the end of every election cycle and thus strengthen the nation's democracy. Ebinimi Zitimiola, NTA News.
Elsewhere, researchers at the University of Macau, China, forecast that the economy could grow as much as 21% in 2024. Macau, which is located south coast of China, researchers believe will experience full recovery of tourist arrivals in 2024.
In their macroeconomic forecast for Macau, the University of Macau's Center for Macau Studies and Department of Economics highlighted the significance of mainland tourist arrivals in determining the trajectory of Macau's economic growth. Researchers predict that Macau will face uncertainties about the economic development in mainland China, such as the contraction of the real estate market and residents' income, which will have an impact on their interest in traveling to Macau as well as their purchasing power. The research team developed two scenarios, estimating that Macau's economic growth will lie between 8.3% and 21% in 2024, with the growth in exports of services reaching as high as 26.7%. In the more optimistic scenario, where the mainland visitor arrivals return to the 2019 level, Macau's GDP can increase up to 21% year-on-year in 2024, and the overall unemployment down to 1.9% from the current 2.4%. The government can also achieve a recurring revenue of up to 109 billion Turkish. But if the conservative scenario eventuates, where visitor arrivals from the mainland only increase modestly by 5% year-on-year, researchers project that Macau will only see GDP growth of 8.3%, while the overall unemployment will drop to 2.1%. The forecast government revenue will also be scaled back to less than 100 billion Turkish. The 2024 government budget predicted that the government's income and expenses would be around 107 billion Turkish and 105 billion Turkish respectively.
Chairperson of Liberia's National Elections Commission, NEC, Davidetta Brown Lansana, has acknowledged the pivotal technical support rendered by INEC Nigeria and Professor Mahmoud Yakubu in establishing a a workspace and bolstering the electoral process in Liberia, while dedicating a workspace for staff of NEC Liberia to Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. The Liberian NEC chairperson commended Nigeria for sustaining Liberia's democratic journey so far. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu acknowledged NEC Liberia for the honor bestowed upon the INEC Nigeria and emphasized the value of the resource in enhancing the operational capabilities of staff, particularly through information technology facilities. And Professor Yakubu recalled INEC Nigerian's assistance during Liberia's 2017 presidential election and highlighted the joint efforts of its experts from INEC and NEC Liberia in addressing stakeholders' concern regarding the voters registered towards a hitch-free exercise. And he underscored the complexity of election management and urged prioritizing peer support amid limited resources and escalating election cost. Liberia death toll rises to more than 40. Deaths from a leaking tanker truck which exploded earlier this week in Liberia has risen to 40%. Authorities say as people gathered to collect gasoline from the tanker, an explosion occurred. Tuesday's explosion also injured at least 83 persons in the town of Totota in the central West African country. A health official in the Dong County, DR, Cynthia Blackpook, said many of the dead were injured or buried in a mass grave because their remains were unrecognizable. Health authorities said it was difficult to confirm the exact number of deaths due to the burnt state of the bodies. And Liberia's Vice President, Joel Howard Taylor, who attended the mass funeral, was sad that the year is ending this way. And now let's take you through the Nigerian First Lady's story, which says Kano government is to expend 27 billion naira on construction of traditional bridges as part of measures to ensure smooth vehicular movement in the ever-busy state capital. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, while flagging off the construction at the two sites, stressed that a mega city, Kano, deserves massive infrastructural transformation.
This route links up Kano with four other northwest states of Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi and Sokoto. It also connects the ancient city with the west and northern part of the metropolis. Taludu, which is the nucleus of the road, is characterized by traffic congestion, especially during morning and evening hours. This informed the decision of the state government to construct a clover-leaf overpass bridge at the location. Governor Bakabir Yusuf, who flagged off the project, believes will, in addition to easing traffic flow, also add to the beauty of the city and address air pollution.
We expect them to ensure timely delivery of all the projects with the highest quality possible for the benefit of our people.
At Naogundi, another area known for daily traffic gridlock, Governor Yusuf performed groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a 3-layered interchange bridge. The two projects are to gulp 27 billion naira. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Nigerian's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has paid a condolence visit to the Ibadan residence of former Governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu. She led wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima, and some state governors' wives to the residence of the deceased to comfort his widow, Betty Akeredolu, and other members of the family. She says while the passing of the former governor remains shocking and unexpected, it cannot diminish his stature or rob the nation of the memories of his impact as a visionary leader who did his best for Ondo State and the country. Appreciating the First Lady and her entourage for the visit on behalf of the family, brother of the deceased, Professor Ayodeji Akeredolu, says the family is comforted by the show of support at this time of grief. And now the Commission of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Commission, has expressed concern over the explosion of a fuel tanker in Bon County, Republic of Liberia, on Thursday, 28 December 2023, resulting to scores of fatalities. A statement by ECOWAS Commission expresses its heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and sympathizes with the Liberian government and the people for the irreparable loss. ECOWAS pray for the quick recovery of the injured and commends the government's proactiveness in ensuring their speedy recovery. The statement adds that the regional body stands ready to support efforts made by the government to investigate the circumstances of the explosion with a view to preventing a recurrence of similar tragic incident. The transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, says 3 of its towers along Maiduguri-Damaturu power line have been destroyed by explosive. This is coming barely a week after 2 towers along Gombe-Damaturu transmission line were vandalized and disrupted power in Yobe and Borno states. In a statement, TCN states that the incident also cost the life of a personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. TCN commiserates with the family of the deceased and the NSCDC for the sad and shocking incident. And with that, we conclude the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Comfort Amodu.